Hey guys, welcome back. Again, my name is Troy Lister, aka King Lister, and this is going to be my second upload onto my new YouTube page. First and foremost, I would like to give a huge thank you to everyone who viewed my first video on the last episode of Game of Thrones. I appreciate all the kind words from the people who've reached out to me. It meant a lot. You know, if you subscribe to the channel, if you liked the video, if you viewed the video, I really appreciate all that feedback that I received from people. It was very nice to hear positive things. I even had a good a buddy of mine tell me that he missed Troy's Thursday Talks, which is an old segment I used to do on Facebook Live, and he was just going to tell me that he thought I should bring it back, and it's in the plans going forward for this YouTube channel. I have a lot of things, goals and aspirations I would like to reach with this. This is just the beginning. I do have more things in mind, certain segments I would like to do weekly, along on top of the other discussions and breakdowns and things of that nature. So again, a huge thank you to all of you who tuned in, subscribed, liked, shared, viewed, whatever. I appreciate that. And again, going forward, if you like what you see here, if you like what you hear, if you're even somewhat entertained by me at all, please like it, share, subscribe, comment. Please join the discussion down below. I would love to interact with people, go back and forth. I love debates. Going forward, as I said before, this is not just a Game of Thrones channel. This is not just a comic book channel or TV or television. Sports is a heavy thing for me too. And today's topic will be about the NBA playoffs, what's happened so far, going forward, my predictions of what will happen the rest of the way. Okay? Obviously, as you see, I'm repping here. Trust the process. I'm a huge Sixers fan. I would try not to be biased with my opinion, but I can't promise that. But we will start there. Last night, Game 3 in Philadelphia, the Sixers won 116-95, a much-needed win, in my opinion. I thought the Sixers looked very overwhelmed after Game 1 when they lost in Toronto. They bounced back with a tough road win in Game 2. And then last night, they really exploded and played well. Joel Embiid, 33 and 10 and 5 blocks. He was a beast on offense and defense. It was great to see. Jimmy Butler has found his role with this team, just being a glue guy. He does a little bit of everything. He's kind of the coach on the floor, if you will. He's very vocal leader of the team. Last night, 22-9-9. That's a great performance. And they were able to take Game 3 and take control of the series against the number 2 seeded Raptors. And I think going forward, I had predicted Philly to win in 6, and I still think Philly will win this series in 6. I think that they can win Game 4 in Philly on Sunday. I can see them losing Game 5 in Toronto, the Raptors putting up a fight to stay alive. But I think all in all, the Sixers will wrap this up next week in Game 6 in Philadelphia. I believe that truly. I have been saying for a long time now that I think if Philadelphia can click and mesh and play to their full max potential, which they showed last night, they are going to the finals. I believe that. I've said that. Obviously, I'm a fan, so I have to believe that. But realistically speaking, their starting 5 is as good as any starting, if not better than any starting 5 in the league outside of the reigning, defending champions in Golden State. So, again, I'll keep it short on the Sixers and we'll move on. This won't be a long post like my first video. Sixers won last night by 21, take a 2-1 series lead. I expect them to come out with the same intensity on Sunday and take a commanding 3-1 series lead against Toronto. We shall see going forward, but that's where my stance is on that. Also, Joel Embiid is the best big man in the league. No debate, no disrespect to Anthony Davis or Karl Anthony Towns or anybody like that. but Joel Hans Embiid is the best big man in the league, and it's time people start to say that without a doubt. Moving on to the other Eastern Conference matchup we have right now, the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks and the number 4 seed Boston Celtics. Game 3 is tonight, 8 p.m. on ESPN. This series is currently 1-1. Boston had won Game 1, and Milwaukee came back and won Game 2. I predict that Boston will win this series. I think it will be the Celtics and Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think Giannis is an unbelievable player. He deserves to be MVP. He is the best player on the best team in the league, record-wise. And he's played phenomenal this season. He's played great all year long, and he deserves to be MVP. I just think the Celtics have a better coach, and I think the Celtics just have that more playoff experience and playoff grit. Playoff Kyrie is a different kind of player. Now, I say that, and in the Game 2 loss, he only had 9 points. If the Celtics are going to advance, we need more Kyrie. We need that better version of playoff Kyrie. 9 points is not going to cut it. But I do think we are heading towards a Sixers-Celtics Eastern Conference Finals, and I think it's only right. It's fitting. The great history and rivalry between these two franchises, I would love to see it renewed. We've seen it a couple times in the playoffs. Last year we saw it in the second round. I would love to see them match up in the NBA or the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it would be fantastic for fans of both clubs, for the league itself. I think it would be great to see. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'm going to watch Game 3 tonight. I'm expecting Boston to win. They are going to be on their home court for the first time in this series. I expect them to come out with a great defensive intensity, a great game plan. I know Coach Stevens will have them ready to go, and I expect to see Kyrie give us more than 9 points tonight. And I'm going to go on record as saying the Celtics will win Game 3 tonight and take control of their series like Philadelphia did last night. And I think Celtics could win this series in 6 or 7 games as well. We're going to flip to the other side of the coin, the Western Conference. I'll start with the other game that's going on tonight, 10:30 on ESPN. It's Game 3. The Denver Nuggets will be traveling to face the Portland Trailblazers. That series is also 1 apiece. Let me just start by saying this. I think Golden State Warriors are the team to beat in the league, and especially the Western Conference. I think they are going to the finals. I don't see anybody beating Golden State really in a 7-game series. It's funny because, the West is always known as the better conference, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't think there's a sexy matchup for the Warriors in the West other than who they're playing right now, and that's the Rockets, and we'll get to that series in a minute. But going forward, if the Warriors win their series, I don't think that Portland or Denver really presents a spicy matchup for them. I don't really see it being anything more than a 5, at best, 6-game series. And I love Damian Lillard. I think Dame is a killer, and he is clutch. He's cold-blooded. He's proved that over and over and over and over and over. I was very happy to see them defeat Oklahoma City. I'm a much bigger Dame fan than I am Westbrook. That's no knock on Westbrook. He's a great player. He is a stat machine. I mean, the way the guy plays, all energy, heart, and effort, and he's just, a triple-double machine. But he doesn't play to today's NBA style, which you need to be able to be. You need to be able to shoot the basketball, and Russ can't do that well, unlike Dame. Back to this Denver and Portland series, I do think Portland will win the series. I thought it was good for them to come out and win Game 2. Jokic and Murray and Denver obviously is a very good team. They're the number 2 team in the West for a reason. But I just like Dame Lillard, McCollum. Shout out to Lehigh University, which is right down the road on 78. I'm a Lehigh Valley boy, and Lehigh University is smack dab in the middle of Lehigh Valley. McCollum's not from the Valley, but he did play for Lehigh, so shout out to him. But yeah, going forward, I think Portland wins Game 3 tonight on their home court. It takes control of the series, and I think they will eventually win the series, and they will face the Golden State Warriors, who are up 2-0 on the Houston Rockets. Game 3 for them tomorrow will be in Houston, 8:30 on ABC tomorrow night. I think the series is over. Unless Houston wins and wins big in Game 3, I expect Golden State to kind of just roll through. James Harden, you had an absolutely incredible season. I believe I saw a stat somewhere, the most points per game in a season since Jordan did it, I don't know, in the late 80s, I believe it was. 36 points per game for James Harden. That's incredible. But let's face facts. If the threes aren't falling for Harden and he's not getting the foul calls, his impact just isn't that great. Fantastic player, great isolation player, but he needs to get going by going to the free throw line. You know, he took and made the most free throws in the league, I'm pretty sure. I know him, Giannis, and Joel Embiid are top 3. I believe Harden took and made the most. He gets so many foul calls. That's obviously been a big point to him this series. He's mentioned it about not getting the calls that he thinks he deserves on his 3-point shots. You know, the closeout, not giving him room to land. They really emphasize that being a thing going forward. And were there some that probably should have been called? Possibly, but it's the playoffs, and you have to play with the mentality that the calls may not get called, And James right now seems to be struggling with that. He hasn't really looked James Harden-ish. I know he had 36 in Game 1, I believe, 29 in Game 2, but he hasn't looked at that dominant takeover player that we've seen all through the regular season and in the first round. But what's your answer for Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant is right now the best player in the league. He is, without doubt. I'm a huge LeBron fan. I think LeBron, when he's clicking and on cylinders, he's the best player in the world all around. But LeBron has taken some steps back, maybe. And Kevin Durant, at least on offense, I mean, how do you stop that guy? Almost 7 foot, can pull up from 35 and hit it from anywhere in the court. He's something we've never seen really in the league before. And he just meshes so well with today's game, and especially that Golden State team. Now, whether you think he's leaving, he's going to end up in New York or Brooklyn or wherever you think he may end up in the offseason, that's fine. We're not worried about that right now. Right now, they're up 2-0 on the Houston Rockets, and I believe unless the Rockets make some kind of final stand tomorrow night, if Golden State wins that game and they get up 3-0, it's over. It's done. The Warriors will not lose 4 out of 5 games to anyone in these playoffs. So, yeah, I think tomorrow night is Houston's last chance, but I'm picking Golden State in that series. So, as far as my predictions go, I have the Sixers and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Trailblazers and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. And I'll go one step further, that I believe it will be the Sixers and the Warriors in the NBA Finals. I think the Celtics pose the biggest threat to the Sixers in the East. But I think when the Sixers play the way they did last night, they are, I don't want to say unbeatable, but they will be very, very hard to beat. The Sixers have matched up, the Celtics have been a tough matchup for Philadelphia for the past few seasons. But, the Sixers weren't really a good team for a while, and they just started getting good last year. And Boston had kind of this mental edge over them. And there was a game in the regular season this year where it seemed like the Sixers finally broke through and they won a big game. And I think that little mental hurdle that they had to overcome, they did. And I trust these guys now. I think, being led by Butler really, really helps them out a lot. I think Butler really gives Embiid and Ben the confidence they need to really be elite, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs. So I'm really looking forward to that. You know, you don't want to get too far ahead. I mean, the Sixers could come out on Sunday and get smashed at home, and it could be 2-2, and I could be really, really, really nervous. But I'm going forward. I think Philadelphia will win their series against Toronto. I think Boston will win their series, Portland and Golden State, and I think we'll see those 4 teams in the conference finals. And I think we are heading towards a sorry, someone was calling me. Heading towards a Sixers and Warriors NBA Finals. I won't go on record to pick who I think will be NBA champion just yet. But we shall see what happens going forward. But this is it for today. I just wanted to hop on real quick, post a second video, give some thank yous, and just give my thoughts on the current state of the NBA playoffs and going forward. So, you know, again, thank you to everyone. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, if you like this video, you know, please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it. You know, expect more sports content going forward. I have, like I said, I'm working on some things behind the scenes, some ideas, things I want to do. I don't want to just get in front of the camera and just kind of ramble all the time. I kind of want to make it more concise, with some different kind of content. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did, I really appreciate all the feedback, and going forward, man, hey, let's go Sixers. Trust the process. All right, guys, have a great day.